So, does Marvel remember that Loki is a frost giant? I know it's a strange question, but I felt it needed to be asked in light of the scene where two Loki variants complain about a cold breeze and need a thin blanket. But to be honest, that's just a small aspect of the issue of Loki's powers, specifically the slow draining of all of his actual power to the point where he's getting in fistfights with people who mathematically can't hurt him. I legitimately don't believe there is any version of Loki that could be captured by the TVA unless they were a child. And the only one we've ever seen actually escape was one of the two children we know they captured. Between the TVA agents, who it turns out aren't the superhuman creations of the strange time lizards, but are actually variants of regular humans, the Lamentis guards, by the way that name is super on the nose, who may or may not be stronger than regular humans, and even regular people in future Wallmart. Loki keeps getting into fist fights, and I find myself wondering if people even remember what he was doing a few days ago. The show seems to be treating Loki as a slightly stronger human, but he's not. He can hold his own against Asgardians, Captain America, and the like. But it's not just his physical strength that's taking a hit. His powers have too.
Even I don't know what it does. Want to find out?
I can't believe they included this scene in the same show where he uses a vacuum cleaner to fight off some random dude.
Whereas duplication casting entails recreating an exact facsimile of one's own body in its present circumstance.
Chevrock's gun remains safely unfired. Loki doesn't do a single clever thing with his duplication casting. The trickster god just fights everyone in person, and I find it hard to believe he's the same guy from the first Avengers movies. So much dialogue is dedicated to how dishonest and untrustworthy and tricky Loki is, but he rarely uses any deception in combat. Then again, when I think about it, he also rarely successfully uses any deception outside of combat too. Which is only made more frustrating because whenever he does, he wins. Or at least he puts himself in a position where he could win. And don't even get me started on the whole enchant thing.
I have to make physical contact and then grab hold of their mind.
Oh.
Very painful memory.
Well, I guess that's worth a look. Well, I guess that's worth a look.
No wonder he figured out how to enchant Aleoth with zero instruction. It was just a step above what he's already been doing, though I don't think the show realizes it. I think this also means he technically could have figured out the TVA were variants on his own. When classic Loki lampshades the knife thing, well, it's not that bad because he's one of the best parts of the show, but it feels like Marvel is just telling on itself for nerfing Loki. And I know many people won't care for his powers as long as he can drive the story via his character actions. And in the companion video to this one, I talk about his character motivation and a few issues that has, so you can watch it after this. But also, I feel like this issue, which isn't unique to just the Loki TV series, just more obvious in it, is worth paying attention to when the results of fights can affect the story. Because otherwise, the writers will just make anyone as strong or weak as they need to be to make whatever they want happen, which is a fast way to cause action scenes to lose tension. But I'm not one to simply complain about something without trying to see if there's a way to right around the problem. So how would I do this? Well, first I'd remove the fights with the enchanted humans. It's kind of pointless. Establish Lamentis citizens as being more credible threat and not just humans who live in space. And that we can only headcanon as stronger and more powerful than regular people. And give the TVA more weapons and equipment so that we can believe they could successfully capture the God of Mischief. Maybe the ability to stop time or predict future actions. And just make Sylvie kill the ones at the end of episode 1 with a cleverer method than setting a field on fire. It's like maybe with the same method she does in episode 2 of enchanting one of them to do it for her. Oh, that's an idea. Just move the beginning of episode 2 to the end of episode 1. Because as it is, I don't see how the TVA could capture half the characters in the MCU. Imagine if they tried to capture Hawkeye, or some guy with a gun and half decent aim. What would they do if Thanos chose to kill anyone he wasn't supposed to in Wakanda while he has 5 Infinity Stones? The obvious answer is to go at him with more weapons, but they didn't even go with more weapons when they knew someone was killing their agents off, so even that speculation is under heavy scrutiny. And if I've managed to keep you here long enough, you either find what I'm saying absolutely ridiculous and want the full context before leaving a comment telling me how wrong I am, in which case feel free to do so, or I've managed to present an argument you consider is sensible, in which case comment anyway, leave a like, and check out the companion video to this on the end card, or the one about Loki's death I made when Endgame came out. Thank you and good day.